Welcome to the exciting and new podcast. This is a mini, and I'm Jason.
I'm Andy.
I'm Dana.
I'm always there's always a pause when I push the horn.
Yeah,
and I'm like,
I wonder why you get nervous. I'm like, wait a few seconds, it's going to come on. you feel like you're forgetting.
I switched the cards, and I think the other one didn't have that pause.
Yeah, I think you copied it over or
Yeah,
something. You
so
probably have an extra second or something in there
It's
now.
just, I hit the button, and I'm like, why is the
All I know
music
is
not
every
coming
week
out?
now you look at it and you're like, why is it not coming on?
Hey, I watched only one movie this
movie
week.
did you watch?
I think you guys have both watched it already. The Holdovers.
Yes.
I haven't seen it yet.
Oh, Paul
I would like to.
Giamatti. I thought it was very good.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like kind of like your most basic of movies, and
Yeah.
not a lot happens.
But it's definitely a good movie, yeah.
Yeah.
And he's fantastic in it. I don't know if he's gotten nominated for anything.
Yeah, he
during
won Golden Globe,
Did
and
he?
so did she.
Oh,
the big black lady?
Yeah, she was the first
won.
one to win. Right, she was
Yeah.
the one that Jason Bateman helped up the stairs.
Yeah.
she's
Her
from.
dress was basically like falling off.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
My mom texted Michelle during it because she had a low cut dress, and her rack is enormous. And I think my mom was like, "She's gonna fall out of that
It
thing."
did look like she was going to fall
Yeah.
out of it. I was
But
watching
well,
it.
I don't. Do you
it
watch
happens.
Only Murders in the Building?
Yeah.
She is the cop
Oh,
on that. Yes.
Oh, really?
Yes,
Oh,
that's-
good for her.
yeah.
I like her.
And she
Yeah.
was good in this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was
I
very
do want
good.
to see it. I know you said it was a Christmas movie, but I think I'll watch it anyway.
It doesn't really have anything to do with Christmas.
Okay.
It just takes place over Christmas
Yeah.
break.
Yeah.
So
It was nominated for an Oscar.
Okay.
For
Yeah, Best Picture. Yep.
Doesn't
so.
everything get nominated for an Oscar
They did
now?
10 movies now,
a few,
though,
yeah.
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 dumb.
I'm going to try to watch them all.
That's
I like
just-
10 because it gives me more of an opportunity to watch more of the movies.
Well,
and
I
I've watched
think
quite a
that's
few
just-
so
I
far.
think I've seen at least 3 of them,
It's
4
just
of them.
so they can say nominated for an Oscar. You know,
I think
everyone can say that.
I watched one of the best foreign films of the year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Society of the Snow. It's about the Uruguayan rugby team in 1972 that flew to. They were flying. I forget where they were flying to, but they crashed into the Andes.
Is that the
Andes
Alive?
Mountains.
The Alive?
The Alive movie was
okay.
based off of this in the 90s. I
They're-
think that
Yeah.
movie
They're
was.
flying to
yeah.
Chile, I think, because that's right on the other side of the
They were
Andes.
fly-
there.
I think they were, yeah.
Yeah. So this is a documentary about it.
That is a movie.
Oh, a movie. So it's another
Spanish.
movie.
It's a Spanish speaking movie, but beautiful movie. It's really done well. I had a lot of anxiety as I was watching it, just because of the things that were happening, like a couple of avalanches and stuff that happened like during that. It's just I would not have made it that far.
Did you
No.
see Alive?
Yes, I did.
Any comparison? Like, is it
Very much. They did it a lot better in this movie.
I was gonna say, is this better? I mean, you probably haven't seen
Yeah.
Alive in a long time.
I
but-
haven't seen Alive in a long time. Made me want to watch it again because I can't remember how great it was or how bad it was.
I
You know what
remember that
mean?
being pretty good, and that had Ethan Hawke in it too, and I still
Yeah.
watched it and enjoyed it.
Yeah, so I think I think I'll probably watch Alive. Maybe I'll see if I can find that somewhere and watch
Yeah.
that. But
I think Michelle
it's on
watched that the other
Netflix
day.
if you want to watch it. I talked to Michelle about it. She liked it. It's
I was
really
watching,
good.
I was
Yeah.
watching football. She was
Oh.
watching that.
Yeah, I wanted to see that too. It's on
She
my
was
list,
reading
but I know, and I've been putting it off because I know how much anxiety it's going to give me to watch that. So, and I know Andy is probably definitely going to have anxiety if it's a plane
Crashes.
plane crash going down.
Well, I'm not flying anywhere anytime soon,
Yeah.
so
Yeah,
maybe
so it
maybe
sinks
March.
to watch. Yeah,
What'd you watch, Dana?
I watched a few things. I started a new show called Death and Other Details on Hulu.
is that the one with Mandy Patinkin?
Yep, Mandy Patinkin. And
I've seen that advertisement.
I don't know if anyone else I know is in it, but he's in it. He's kind of like he's a detective, so it's kind of like a whodunit type of thing. But it's set on a like cruise ship type of boat. So
Does he
it
hate
was
working
pretty
with women like he did in Homeland?
No.
Remember, he didn't like working with Claire Danes.
Well,
And
you know,
apparently, he was like impossible. He's like on those lists of like
Yeah.
people that are
Work with,
impossible to
yeah.
work with. He's always
yeah,
at the top of the
that's
list.
okay. I still love him. I know he was on the first like 3 seasons of Criminal Minds, and then they wrote him off because he wanted to leave the show. He apparently didn't agree with all the storylines that involved mostly killing women and violence towards women, so he didn't want to be part of the show anymore.
Well,
so
I
then,
mean,
Is that
like,
the one with Joe Montana?
Yeah.
I think Joe Montana is a better actor.
Well, I love Joe. He was great.
I
in
mean,
that,
someone's
yeah.
got to get killed, right?
Yeah, but it
it's-
was always. I guess his problem was it was always women. It was always extreme violent. But it's not like.
Yeah, but extreme violence works
it's
better
about-
on women,
yeah.
and on a male it doesn't work as well.
well.
I mean, sometimes it does, depending on
Yeah.
who is doing
Yeah.
the torturing.
Well,
but
I think in real life, most
You're not
violence
gonna
like that
have-
is towards women.
I was
so
gonna, they're probably
Yeah.
all domestic violence cases, right? And
No, it's all
usually-
serial killers.
Well,
Yeah.
that's probably also aimed at women.
Mostly.
Unless you're like Dahmer. Like, Dahmer was the only one that was killing men.
Yeah. No, Criminal Minds was a lot of serial killers. It wasn't like your
Gacy
everyday
killed men,
crime.
too.
Did he?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Good
I'm
for
not,
Gacy.
I'm not up to date on mine.
I like
Serial
him.
killer.
But it was really good. I enjoyed it. And then that was on Hulu. Another Hulu movie I watched is called Self-Reliance with Jake Johnson. Jackson? Johnson?
Gyllenhaal?
Not Jake
The
Gyllenhaal.
guy from
no.
New Girl?
Yeah,
That
yeah,
guy? Okay.
that guy.
Which I never watched, but I know the guy's face.
Yeah. I love him, and I loved him in New Girl, so that's why we watched it.
Was
pretty
it
much.
good?
Yeah, you know what? I enjoyed it. So it's got Andy Samberg. What the heck is his name? What's Doc Brown's real name? Christopher Lloyd. He has a part in it. Anna Kendrick is in it, and a bunch of other people. But anyway, basically, he's just walking around one day, and Andy Samberg pulls up in a limo, and it's like, "Hey, get in!" And basically, he gets pulled into this game of people are going to try to kill you. If you survive 30 days, you win $1 million.
Good Lord.
And it's
I'm in.
yeah, right.
Yeah.
And it is if you are within the vicinity of anybody within, I think, 3 feet, they can't kill you. So if you can convince someone to stay at your side nonstop for 30, then you'll be safe. So
Offer him a few bucks. You're good.
yeah, right. So
But,
it
like,
was on from there. It was
so
pretty good.
is
I
that a
enjoyed
movie
it.
or a show?
It was a movie.
Oh, man. See, that actually sounds like an idea that would be a good show. Like,
Yeah.
every week. Like, how are you going to, like...
Survive
I
this,
could talk
yeah.
Michelle into, like, sticking by me 3 feet until, like, I have to go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
She's like, you're on your own, dude.
There's a scene that talks about that. So
That was the first thing I went
yeah.
for. I was like, bathroom. That's got to be the toughest part.
it was fun. It was fun for hour and a half movie or whatever.
That's fun.
Yeah.
On Saturday night, the fam, all 4 of us went to the New Jersey Devils hockey game.
Nice.
Up at the Rock there. We went with previous guests, not Brian, Brady, Christine, and Connor. They all went.
Oh, just those 3 went?
Connor, Carrie too.
Oh, okay.
Also previous guest,
Yeah.
Carrie, sorry. They have friends that are Dallas Star fans.
Oh.
I didn't get I think one of them was from Dallas, but they were playing the Dallas Stars. So Connor slow rolled into my office like months ago and said, "Want to go to a Dallas Stars Devils?"
He just finished asking you?
And I was like, it's a really good idea. So anyway, it was Saturday night. And it was like, I don't know if you remember Saturday night, but it was cold.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it was.
And the Devils Arena up there, the Rock, is not right next to the train station in Newark. It's like a couple
No, you gotta
blocks
walk,
away.
yeah.
So, we thought, hey, we'll just take the train and we'll walk over it. Hey, that was a tough walk. So anyway, we're all bundled up. We met at a bar right across the street from the arena. Connor comes there with like a...
Shorts.
not shorts, but just like a shirt he was wearing today at work. Just a long sleeve kind of shirt. I was like, "Where's your jacket, dude?" He's like, "I came like this." I'm like, "It's 15 degrees outside, man, and it's a 10-minute walk."
Yeah.
He's like, "I know, I'm cold," and so he actually bought a hat in the arena to wear back because the jackets and hoodies were like $200.
Oh my
at
God.
the arena.
Yeah.
They're always
Arena,
gonna-
of course,
They're always
yeah.
going to jack
Oh,
up the
okay.
prices. So he's like, "I'm not spending that." I'm like, I had like multiple layers on. I was thinking of letting him borrow my jacket until I realized how cold I had been walking there in the sun, and
Yeah.
now it was dark. And I was like, "You're on your
Oh,
own, dude."
man.
But
Like, did he just forget it?
no,
or
because
it's
he was like, "Well, I don't want to be in the arena all hot." First of all, it's a hockey arena, so it's cold inside.
Yeah.
So I don't know. He's crazy, man. Like
it's,
every time
it's not that bad having a hoodie on your lap. For,
everybody
Yeah,
that's walking
yeah.
when Connor's in my office and someone walks by, I'm like, hey. The shirt Connor's wearing right now, he wore at the hockey game, and it was 20 degrees outside. And I've told everybody to work, but the reason Brian did not go, because he was obviously asked to go, and he did not go, was because one of the people in our group, I'm not going to say who said it to me, he didn't want to be made fun of for not knowing enough. He didn't want to sit through another sporting event being made fun of the whole time for not knowing the sport, because a couple of years ago we'd all gone to a football game in a luxury box because our friend had one, and I was like, "Why are you here?
Yeah.
You don't even know what a football looks like, let alone you're taking up a seat that your wife, who was it was a Giants Eagles game, Christine would have been having the time of her life there." I was like, "Why are you here?" He's like, "Well, it's a luxury box, and there's free beer and free food, and it's warm in here. It was like the weekend.
my friends are here.
It was the weekend after Christmas, so it was cold out. And I was like, yeah, but you don't know anything about football. Only football fans should be here. So he did not go to the hockey game for fear that I'd be sitting there going the whole time.
Do you think
why
you would have said that to him or no?
I would have totally said, of course I would have said it to him. But I would have all been at it just like...
Is Andy a bully?
It was just been
a little bit.
I would have just been poking the bear a little bit. I would have done I certainly don't care if you went. It would have just been, I would have had fun.
So let me ask you a question. Connor asked me to go, and I thought about...
To that game?
No. Yeah, to that game. But I was like, I thought about it until he told me how much the tickets would be, and I was like, no.
Yeah.
But I want to go to a hockey game. I don't watch it. I don't know anything about it. Would you make fun of me, or would you only have made fun of Brian?
Only made fun of Brian.
Yeah, I thought so.
Yeah. No,
I don't see you making fun of me for it.
I didn't make fun of there were 3 women in the group of Dallas people. I didn't make fun of one of them. I didn't ask any of the women, do you know anything about hockey? Do you know anything about hockey? Now, Michelle, she grew up in hockey.
Yeah, she knows.
Her dad,
she knows a lot about
played. Her brother, I think Thomas still plays. So that's a hockey family.
Yeah.
So I've since Michelle and I started dating, hockey's was a big part of our life. When we got a little older, it wasn't so much. But I tell you, man, the fact that Brian didn't go just because he didn't want to be made fun of.
That is funny.
I would have only made fun of him once. I wouldn't the whole game. I wouldn't have been
like. Got it all out at one time.
Do you know what that is? That was a goal. You see the red light go on? That was a goal because I probably would have done that at least one time, but only once.
Now I saw the picture
kicked
Michelle posted. Did you guys already have those jerseys?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. We all went.
You all have
they're
them.
a Devil fan.
Yeah, we all went with jerseys. Yeah.
I didn't know. I thought maybe you might be a Flyers fan.
Yeah, I saw that picture too. That was a nice picture.
Yeah.
That's my long arm. I'm the only one that can take a selfie of everybody. I can get my arm all the way out.
I watched a random one on Peacock the other day from 1987. Lee Ving was in it. That's the only reason why I watched it. Dudes. Did you ever see it? Dudes
no,
from
I've never heard of it.
John Cryer, Flea's in it.
Really?
Wait, it's a movie called Dudes?
Yeah.
I've never heard of that in my life.
It's on Peacock. It's on Peacock right there. Dudes. There's Flea right there. You can see him in the picture.
Not Dudes, Where's My Car?
No. I watched that. It's a stupid movie.
Yeah.
John Cryer's a punk. He doesn't pull off a good punk.
Well, it's so funny because we were talking. I was listening to the Footloose podcast this morning, actually.
That's a good podcast.
And sorry. Karate Kid podcast that we did just last week. I was listening to this morning, and at one point you were talking about
that wherever you get your podcast, kid.
all the people that had also been considered for Daniel LaRussa, and John Cryer was one of the people, and he was the only one that we were like, well, yeah, he could play like a nerdy kid. Yeah, that we were okay
Will
with.
Wheaton would have worked too if he was old enough.
Yeah.
But the fact that John Cryer was playing a punk at the same, only a couple of years later than that, just like, really?
Yeah.
Ducky?
I watched The Court Jester. It's a short film. It's Pauly Shore as Richard Simmons. I don't know if you heard that.
I can't wait to see that.
It's on YouTube.
Richard Simmons is not happy about it.
I know, but I watched it. It's 9 minutes and 52 seconds.
Is it free on YouTube?
It's free on YouTube. I watched it.
It's a under 10-minute movie of.
Well, it was a short because they want to make it.
Okay.
They want to make a full length.
This is
trying to see if they could get Richard Simmons to be interested in it.
Yeah.
He has no interest in it. They could still make the movie though.
Yeah.
But this is what got Richard Simmons in the.
He came out of hiding.
Out of hiding, right? Yeah.
Because he's been a recluse for like the past 10 or 12 years
remember that
now, I think.
podcast we listened to?
I love that podcast.
That was so good, right?
And there was
Did you listen to that one?
I don't know if I listened to the whole thing. I remember there were
so
rumors about him being like elder abuse and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yep, it was possibly his maid or something. Was but then there was talks if he was possibly transitioning. There was talks that he got injured and got fat again.
Yeah.
That was another thing, so he didn't want to be seen if he had gained weight.
Yeah.
So
poor guy just wanted to be left alone.
I know.
Right. That's all it really came down to. You just want to be left alone.
I kind of want to see a full length. Pauly
Shore looks the part too. I mean, he's a little taller, maybe, but
But go on YouTube and watch it tonight.
Okay, I will.
And Dana, I watched American Nightmare.
Oh my God, did you love it?
That is absolutely insane. You have to watch American Nightmare on Netflix.
American Nightmare.
So
it's the one where the guy
female murder kind of thing.
No, so there's a young couple who are
kidnapping,
and when I say and they're young, they're
early
30.
mid-20s, yeah.
I think
late 20s probably.
Yeah, late 20s. But they're also a couple. They've only been together a few months. She stays over at his house one night. They wake up in the middle of the night, and there's a man with a laser and a gun pointing a laser at them. He's in a wetsuit, and he basically kidnaps the girl, drugs them with NyQuil.
Yep.
And ties him up. puts surveillance cameras in his room so he can make sure he isn't calling the cops. And it just goes on from there. And it was so good. I mean, we watched it one after another. Yeah, 3 parts.
Okay.
I think they're like 45 minutes each.
They're 45,
Tell Michelle
50
these
minutes.
things. So
I
that,
did. I told her.
She'll be the one that says,
Yeah.
If I say that, if I said, hey, we got to watch this.
I can't really tell her. She doesn't always listen to me either.
Well, she
Although
never
we
listens to me.
did Society of the Snow.
Yeah.
We bonded on that
Yeah.
one.
She takes my recommendations like, although we've been watching True Detective, man, that show is so good this
I
year,
know.
man.
I'm
When do
liking
those
that.
episodes come out? Sunday night?
Sunday night.
Okay,
It's
so
like an
there's
old
two.
school
Two
HBO
so far.
show, yeah.
Did you see the
I
second
love
one yet?
it. Yeah, I'm
Okay.
caught up. It's great.
I was listening to, I don't want to promote another podcast, but I was listening to the Bald Move guys talking about True Detective.
How much did they give you for that?
What's that? How much?
A penny for each listener, yeah.
Apparently, and I don't want to dive deep. I don't want to get into this at all, but Travis, the guy, the ghost that led her to the bodies, is Rust's dad from season 1. Matt McConaughey's thing, because
I saw that.
Because Matt McConaughey at one point says, "My dad moved to Alaska and he developed leukemia and he died in the snow or something like that," which is how that guy Travis died. And so, I mean, actually, it's not. It's an assumption that's his father.
But I think they also, there's 2 times it was mentioned. One time had to do with the weed and where it came from or something like that. There was, I saw a little video on it.
Yeah, she rolled a humongous joint.
But weed's legal in Alaska.
Yeah. But it said something like, "This is the last of the stash from
Travis." Is
Travis.
that what it was?
Or maybe they said the last name though. So what was their?
His name was Cole. Travis Cole.
They might have said his
What
last
are we on
name.
day 5 of night? Is that what it was?
And that's one of the best things about that show is it just feels like one long day because there's no daylight. So you're like, why don't these people ever go to bed or do anything? You're like,
I was like, aren't they hungry? What time of day is it?
It's been really good.
And Jodie Foster.
Jodie Foster's been great.
She's
I
great.
love her. I think she's great.
I have one other thing. I just started it. Griselda on Netflix with Sofia Vergara. She's playing Griselda Blanco, the drug dealer, Colombian drug dealer.
Oh, okay.
She was vicious. One of the quotes that Pablo Escobar said was, "The only man he fears wasn't a man. It was Griselda Blanco."
And I can only imagine Sofia Vergara playing that role because she's so vicious as Gloria.
But now it's like they have her unhinged because she's cursing and walking around with blood all over. And
I didn't realize that was her. I keep seeing it on the cover of it and the woman, and I did not pick up that was her.
What's that on?
Netflix.
Is that a movie or a show?
6 episodes. I watched the first one.
Okay. Is it limited series?
Yeah, limited series. Yeah.
All our shows ended, so we're like, we watched True Detective on Monday, and we're just like, we haven't watched anything
I'll tell
since
Michelle Griselda.
And American Nightmare.
Yeah.
So I have continued on with my music exploration, as it were.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
I can't wait to hear this one.
So some of the music, this like Dwight Yoakam, Buenas Noches from Lonely Room. It's country.
Yeah.
Not a big fan.
He was good.
It was fine.
But you did listen to it?
I listened to everything. Yeah, I've listened to every single.
Sling Blade.
Sling Blade, was he in that? Okay.
Was he?
Gorillaz.
Oh, yeah,
their
like
first
Gorillaz.
album, Gorillaz. It's okay. It's not as good as their second one that had like Feel Good Ink on it. This is the one that has Clint Eastwood on it, which is a good song.
Yeah.
I mean, they are their own thing. I don't even know how you would describe what
only
Gorillaz
just
is, but
found out that singer is the singer from Blur.
yeah, they're all from
I had
different
no
things.
idea. Yeah.
I think
Other
Daniel's seen
bands
them in
or whatever.
concert at least once, maybe twice. Like he's gone and seen them. That's his favorite band. But I was kind of like, am I going to listen to this whole album? And it was fine.
Yeah.
I mean, I gave it a 3 on my ratings there.
Oh,
the one
5?
I gave out of 5.
Okay.
The one I gave a 5 this week was Blood Sugar Sex Magic.
You know
by
what?
Red Hot Chili Peppers.
You gave it a 5?
Oh yeah, I love that
I
album.
thought you were going to say that was the one you were
no,
complaining
no,
about before, and
no.
I was ready to.
I'm a
throw
fan of the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
I don't like that album.
Yeah,
You know what, Jason?
It's not as good as
Get outta
Mother's
here.
Milk, I don't think. But
No.
it's weird because the 3 biggest hits are like way in the
At the end?
Like there's like 8 songs, and all of a sudden you get to like Give It Away, Under the Bridge, and
Under the Bridge is on the second side
what's
of the
other,
tape.
Yeah, what's the other big song off the?
It was a song before second side. There was a song before, which I can't remember which one it was, and then it was Under the Bridge or whatever. Give It Away was like
maybe Suck My Kisses in
That's
between those
Mother's
2 or
Milk,
something
isn't
like
it?
that. But like,
Is it Suck My Kiss, Mother's Milk?
No,
Nah.
it's Blood Sugar Sex Magic.
Yeah.
The biggest song from Mother's Milk is Higher Ground.
it is. I guess. Yeah.
Because that was the first time I ever saw them in that video, and I never forgot the guy who had like all the stuffed animals on his pants because that's what he's wearing in that video. And then years later, when my sister started dating her now husband, who was way into them, and he started playing them over, and then I like put two and two together. I'm like, oh, that's that guy. But yeah,
I went to
love that
college
album.
in 1988, and there was a guy on my floor that was all about the Red Hot Chili Peppers, and I had no idea who they were.
Yeah,
and he had Mother's Milk, and he played that thing nonstop. And by the end of the year, I was like, these guys are good. And I saw them like the next year because they were on Lollapalooza too. Yeah. So I saw them 92 1 or 92.
I can tell you that was the album and the band that took me out of my New Kids on the Block, Debbie Gibson, like that teeny bop era into like grown up music was that album because he played it all the time and I was, around them a lot. And then I started listening to them and it was kind of like, I don't think I like New Kids on the Block anymore.
There was one song on the album.
What was the first band you got into as a kid?
Like as a kid?
As a kid, yeah.
Oh, I was like Men at Work and Hall and Oates and stuff like that.
The Cars.
Yeah,
it's one of those bands for me.
This was like 1991. Yeah. I saw the New Kids in concert in 1991, and within months, I went from going to that
Blood
concert
Sugar
and
come
screaming.
out, 90 or 91?
91-ish,
yeah, right around there. Yeah,
it was like my whole world basically flip flopped, and I was no longer like a teeny bopper anymore.
You won't go see them in concert anymore, though. You said, right?
No.
Because of the quality is just.
I
not
don't
there
like their
anymore.
last couple albums. They played the last time I was there. They played too much of it. It was a short show.
Didn't they put out like 3 albums this last year or something like that?
There's at least 3 albums I don't know. I think Stadium Arcadium was the last album that I. Yeah, that was the last. I think I went to the tour after that because I went when they made that album right after, and I didn't like it. But I went thinking I'll see, hear older songs, and I didn't hear that many, and it was disappointing.
I remember Michelle, I guess last year when they were announcing this tour, was trying to get tickets for them, but they were like $300
I saw the
each.
set list for Madonna. Like she was just in the Madison Square Garden. She didn't do Borderline.
What? How
she didn't
not?
do Lucky Star.
Come on,
Yeah. She said years ago.
Medleys of like all the songs. You want to hear? She did it in a medley.
She said years ago she's over singing those songs she wrote when she was like 20. Or she sang when she was 20.
She didn't write any of them.
She's like, I can't picture myself as a 40-year-old singing like a virgin and Holiday.
But you could see yourself as a 65-year-old.
What's a 70-year-old doing? What's a 70-year-old like doing it?
I know.
I get it, but fuck you, play the hits.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear that you're tired of playing them.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear it. Like I have no problem going to see a band and they do like 18 songs and they mix like 4 or 5 deep cuts or new songs in there.
Deep cuts, but don't put your 5 best songs like that. That's what
you don't want to like. I mean, Iron Maiden was like that on their last tour. Their last tour was like deep cuts. I'm like, yo, man, I love Iron Maiden, but come on, I need some Number of the Beast and Rat Child and Holier Than Thou. The other album from the week.
Oh, okay, the bad one?
The bad one.
If I need the album,
can we guess?
Yeah, it's their 5th album too. That's why I was like, wow, like they've done 4 albums before this.
And someone says this is their greatest album.
It's on the top. It's on the 1001 albums you must hear before you die. I only up till this point knew one song by them that I could actually say I know that song and I know who that's by.
You want to tell us that song?
Well, then you'll get.
We'll get it that way.
I mean, it's a huge song.
How are we guessing?
Jason probably will get it. I might not get it.
If I said the album was Amnesiac, would that help in any way?
Not me.
That does sound familiar.
What decade?
I call them a 90s band, but I think they're still around today.
Amnesiac. Morphine?
No.
Is it something I would know, or is it like
this
obscure?
band is humongous.
Really?
Oh, yeah. I mean, they over the last like 20 years, I'd say they're one of the biggest bands of the last 20 years. I have a great hint to give you, but it'll give it away.
Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Yeah, no, give it away. I was ready to fight over that. I'm like, is he about to say Chili Peppers or the bad
band? I know
band?
they're British. I can't give you enough of a hint.
Coldplay?
I don't know a bunch.
Is it Coldplay?
Not Coldplay, but I'd say they're kind of like in the same.
In Excess?
This album actually came out.
I like In Excess.
This album actually came out in 2001. Like I said, it's their
2001.
It's their 5th album, so they were all about the 90s.
Oasis?
No, but also a very good guess.
Well, yeah, their first album was like in the late 90s, so they couldn't have had 5.
Dave Matthews?
Not British.
Oh, British, that's right, yeah.
I was going to say, is he British? I don't even know.
Verve? The Verve?
No,
I think
but
they were
I would say they're
wonder, right?
I like that song.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Is the Verve Bittersweet Symphony?
Yeah.
Is that them? Okay, yeah. They got sued for it because there's like a classical song that sounds exactly like that.
I need another hint, I think.
Well,
I'm looking at your wall.
Here's a hint that Jason will get. I
won't shout it.
Okay.
This is Scott Tenorman's favorite band.
Scott Tedderman's favorite band.
Is Scott Tedderman someone you know? Or
He's
is
a
he...
South Park character. And
Oh.
there was an episode where Cartman went so far as to have this band fly all the way from England to
I
South Park
got
to
it
make
now.
fun of him.
I know it.
Oh
Like,
my
to
God.
make fun of him.
All right, give me one more hint and then I'll give up.
Their biggest song is...
Wait.
okay,
Let me
you got
see if
that
I can
one
think
there?
of a couple
Okay.
of hints for her, maybe.
Yeah, like I said, I don't know a lot about this band, so...
Neither do I.
If I give... like,
I can
But
name
they're
another.
such a
can I
huge
give-
band.
Can I give a name of another album? I'll name one of their other albums.
Okay.
OK Computer.
Oh, yeah. Okay, Computer, I absolutely
which is
know.
their biggest album,
Is
I
it
think.
Radiohead?
It is Radiohead.
Oh.
So I listened to
okay.
Amnesiac today, driving home from work and then taking out the garbage. And, like, I am telling you, this was the shittiest album I've ever listened to.
Really?
I mean, like, halfway through, I'm like, why am I continuing to listen to this? And then I looked, I'm like, I got like 20 minutes left. I'm like, I'm just going to listen to all of it. And, oh my God, it is terrible.
Wow.
It is terrible. Now, I'm not claiming that I was ever a Radiohead fan,
Yeah.
so this is not my kind of
Yeah.
music. They're not
Yeah.
playing to me.
Yeah.
But goddamn, this album was dog
I never
shit.
got into them, so I
Yeah.
don't.
I mean, I
And
know
all I know
two
is
songs.
All I know is
and-
Creep. That's
yeah.
it. That's all I know by them.
They had
so.
another song called High and Dry.
I like the version that Chappelle sings.
I don't know that one, no.
Chappelle sings it.
Oh my gosh.
Who's he on stage with? Was he on
John
stage?
Mayer, I
John
think,
Mayer.
yeah.
Okay.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, was
That's
that wasn't from
surprising.
the show, was it? Was it?
That wasn't from the show.
No, because they were doing
show we
Every
did
Rose
it.
Has Its Thorn on the show. Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
my gosh.
And the Different Strokes theme they did.
All right, I'm gonna have to look it up now. Wow, that's surprising. So, did it just not sound like the one song you
Half
know?
of it's just like noise, but like, oh my, I wish I could tell you how to describe this.
Huh.
I'm gonna see what they say about this.
Scott
I
Tedderman
don't
ate
know.
his own.
Yeah.
He ate his
Incorporates
grandmother's.
influences of electronic
body.
music, 20th century classical music, jazz, and krautrock. Is that some kind of
Krautrock?
Is that some kind
I've heard of
German?
krautrock,
Yeah.
Is that some kind of German music? Krautrock.
Oh my God.
It is German,
Kraftwerk? Yeah.
German cosmic music. So
Oh.
there is a lot of that keyboardy kind of like, but like a 5-minute song where there's like one
Is that
lyric.
what all
and-
the rest of their music sounds like?
it
Like,
was
I'm curious
terrible.
now.
It was
Like I
terrible.
said, I know
And
two
want,
songs,
I want
but-
all our listeners, come at me, man. Radiohead, come at me, because man,
I'm not going to stick up for Radiohead either, but I'm going to tell everybody to go to Spreaker and download, rate, subscribe, review, do all those fun things. We're the exciting and new podcast on all our socials. I'm the Jazoo on Instagram, Jazoo74 over there on Twitter. X. This has been the exciting and new mini podcast, and I'm Jason.
I don't even want to advertise on Twitter anymore. AEGonzo1 on Twitter, AEGonzo1970 on Instagram. Come at me, Radiohead. Oh, Andy.
Dana Caps on TikTok and Twitter. I'll never call it X. And Dana Caps 77 on Instagram. I'm Dana.
I find it funny that they still have to put formerly known as Twitter every time they say blah 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 said something on X.
Yeah.